have Muhammad Ali Khan and Dr. Afzal Khan with us today for a little interview regarding the Pakistani nuclear project. So I'm going to go right into it. We have number one, technical questions. Then we'll go on to the role of AQ Khan. Then we'll go on to proliferation and ethics. Next we'll move on to geopolitical motivations. And then we'll go on to security and espionage. Then we'll go on to personal reflections, and finally, legacy and future. So, without further ado, let's start. How did Pakistan overcome the technological and resource limitations to develop nuclear weapons? So I'll just pass this over to you.
Okay, I decided to pass it to Dr. Afzal Khan.
Pakistan and India, whatever they do, they just simply compete with each other. It is just like baseball teams of Chicago and New York. So they purchase a very expensive player for their team, so does the New York baseball club too. So Pakistan and India, throughout the creation, 1947. So if India buys 10 tanks, Pakistan will go also to other countries that buy 10 tanks. So similarly, India went to become a nuclear power. There is one difference between India and Pakistan as far as nuclear technology, nuclear engineering, nuclear centrifuge project, nuclear atom bomb. There's a lot of difference between India and Pakistan. India was helped by all the European countries, including UK, France, United States, and also Russia, for developing nuclear engineering and nuclear technology, and atom bomb also. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, this is a Muslim country, and the history goes back to many years. That all these countries, say European countries or America, they do not like any Muslim country becomes a powerful. So any country which has a atom bomb, so Pakistan is the seventh superpower. Usually if you have an atom bomb, they call it a superpower. So Pakistan became a superpower with the help of Allah and Dr. Abdul Qadir. Nothing in between. Absolutely blank.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So what was the most challenging aspect of the uranium enrichment process?
The most difficult thing was regarding uranium was to enrich it up to the weapon grade level, and that Dr. A.Q. Khan achieved it very successfully, and we all are very proud of him. Because of this achievement, we could now make atom bombs, and many atom bombs we can make.
Let me start from A and go to Z for uranium enrichment centrifuge process. You know, Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan was the only person in Pakistan who knew what is uranium enrichment through centrifuge process. Many countries tried this technology, including United States, including Japan. They failed. They cannot and they could not run the factory of the enrichment with the centrifuge machines because it was so heavy, expensive, and needed so many technical and engineering staff and people to run that factory. But I will give credit to the government of Pakistan, of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. Single-handedly, he brought all these scientific information and knowledge and experience and engineering and its total A to Z processing Now let's start from A. For Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, he had the knowledge. From making a centrifuge and going to the Z, which is atom bomb. And he knew all the A, B, C, D, go by step. And he knew all those things. And he did it with his team. Now remember one thing, that Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan was not alone. He had more than 15,000 engineers and scientists working with him. And he trained them. And he told them what to do, how to do, where to do, and what process to apply, and where is the failure, where is the success, and where is the enrichment, and how much is the enrichment. So on each step, like Kahuta, we call it Dr. Abdul Qadir Research Laboratories. Now we call it KRL. Before we used to call it Engineering Research Laboratories, Kahuta. So there are 36 factories inside Kahuta. It's not that there is one place or one factory which makes it in one row. Starting from A, for the centrifuge machine parts and assembly, and then putting gas, UF6, and then running through that high speed, more than 100,000 RPM roughly, and that rotation of that machine which separates different uranium molecules or particles. Or so if I call it, there were 3 stages in the machine. The one stage which we need is the enriched uranium, we call it 235, U235 uranium, to separate it for atom bomb purposes. Second one was U238, and we call it just uranium, and we separate it in the middle place. And one is the garbage, or you call it depleted uranium, or you call it waste material. So these 3 stages in the centrifuge machine, and then there is not one machine, thousands of them in one hall. And if you go to the hall, and I did it many times, and Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan used to almost visit every day those halls and watch the system, how it is progressing, how it is going, where are the problems, where are the difficulties, and how to resolve them. And it is very strange that when you see those machines which are in thousands, and you will be surprised that how they are organized, how they were built, how they were made, how they were machined, how they were assembled, how they were put in a single line. So if you see first machine and close your eyes and then open eyes, you see only one machine. But behind that machine there are thousands of machines standing in the line. It's just like you make the queue of the human beings, say men only. And they are standing in one line, and you are standing in front of the first man, but you do not see the second man, you do not see the third man, you do not see the 100th man, you do not see the 1000th man, all of them are. Similarly, this centrifuge machine is. So they are standing in lines, and then they are processing, and then coming. But it is a very difficult process. Like I told you, that many countries tried, even United States, even Japan, but they failed, they couldn't do it. But if you call Urenco, or you call from where Dr. Khan had got the experience and the knowledge of the centrifuge machinist, Urenco, so they were producing enriched uranium for running the nuclear power plants in the Europe and in America and in Japan and in other countries, and they were selling just a product, say 3 to 5% enriched uranium. But for atom bomb you need 99% enriched uranium, or 235.
Thank you so much. I think this is the first time we're hearing a scientist talk about this, so thank you so much. Now, I'm going to go on to the role of A.Q. Khan. because you gave such a good answer. You covered all the rest of the questions in that section. So the role of A.Q. Han. Actually, it seems you covered this too. So I'm just gonna ask you a very interesting question. How did Han's network acquire the necessary equipment and designs? And these designs were allegedly stolen from, I guess, Netherlands. But if you have any insight on the designs or the equipment, that would be great.
The question is, how was the acquired equipment was acquired from the other parts of the world as well. Dr. Han orchestrated highly coordinated efforts to source what was needed. From administrative perspective, I saw carefully. The team relied on legitimate fronts and confidential pathways to secure vital components. More than just procurement, it was about maintaining trust, ensuring tight operational security, and executing complex logistics with precision. Now, Dr. Afzal Khan will elaborate more about this.
I'm just going to the question she started,
Yeah.
Shania. See, suppose I am working in an auto workshop and my father puts me there when I was 10 years old and then become 11 years and 12 and 13, 14, 15 and 16 and 20 and I learn how to fix automobile when it breaks down, right? And then I go and open up my own workshop and start repairing cars. What you will call me? Did I steal anything from that first automobile shop?
No.
No. I learned it. I earned it. I commanded it. And I practiced it. And I simply did the business. Now, when you say Dr. Abdul Kabir Khan, when he was working in Holland, and he did many things. He was metallurgy specialist. He was a consultant. He was in charge of many things which were related to metals. And he knew many languages. If I remember correctly, best in Urdu. That's number one. He was born in Urdu speaking. Second, he was excellent in English. And I cannot say that this is his birth language, but his life language was in the English. Then he went to university, Berlin, did his degree in metallurgy engineering. I went to Frankfurt, Germany in 1968. And I got admission in Frankfurt University. The first requirement, you know what was the first requirement of the university? You have to have a German language certificate.
Right.
I'm 100% sure Dr. A.Q. Khan went through the process. But he learned the German language and he studied the German language and he did his degrees in the German languages from the Berlin University. And he was, I did not know German language, say 50%. But Dr. A.Q. Khan was so excellent in German language that I can proclaim it and loudly say he knew 100% German language. That's
One of
third
them.
language. Urdu, English, German. He did his PhD from where? From Belgium. But उसका बराबर नाम था क्या था नाम उसका? His supervisor in Belgium, professor. He was in GIK also.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
okay. In Belgium, the official language is French. So, when you go to the university, they don't teach you in Urdu or English or in German, they teach you in French. So he picked up French. Now, roughly, I did PhD from Reading University, UK, and it took me 5 years. But I will not say that Dr. Ekwan took 5 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years. But everything in French language. PhD I'm talking about. Thesis, classes, notes, experiments,
Lectures.
research, lectures. Now, how many languages? Urdu, English, German, French. And that's what Uranco company was run, was made, was paid by different countries. Holland is one. And then there are 2 or 3 other countries in the neighborhood who did the payment to build this factory. But similarly, if you call England or you call France or you call Germany or you call anything, Holland. Now suppose if drawing comes in French, the equipment is French, so they will send it to Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. And he is the first man to know how this machine will run, our equipment will run. And he can translate it for the workers in the company in Holland, enrichment company. So automatically he had the first-hand knowledge of that equipment. Who? Dr. Abdul Qadir. Now I'm not talking about one machine, I'm talking about hundreds of machines. Similarly, if machine comes from Germany, so they will not give you the literature or the booklet of the machine, how to run it in Urdu or English or in French. Everything will be in German. Now who is the person in the factory in Holland who knows the German and who can translate it?
And that was
Dr. Abdul Qadir.
right.
Now, simply you are looking at me, but you are missing one point. That Abdul Qadir Khan not only translated the documents, he knew everything and almost running the machine or producing the machine or getting the product out of the machine or production out of the machine, because he is the first-hand information, first-hand knowledge of that machine from the suppliers. Now who is the supplier? He is the supplier of that machine. Where is his factory? His factory is in England. Where? In Reading. So Dr. Ekwan also knows from where this machine came. Now if I need that machine and I go to Dr. Ekwan that I need this machine, from where I will get it? He will say, go to Reading, go to that suburb, go to that factory and bring that machine. And that is the basic thing that he knew, and he was working in that factory.
And in fact, he knew all the machines where they are made and manufactured.
And how to run those machines. There, each machine has a manual, operating or operation manual. Now, if somebody sends you the machine in French and the manual in French, and this engineer is from Holland, speaks Dutch, not Dutch but Deutsch. So Dr. Ekwan knows that language, so he will translate it for him.
I mean, that was a plus point, that to knew so many languages.
No, that is not the point. I worked with Germans. I lived in Germany for 1 year. I worked in England and I lived in England 5 years. I worked in America and I lived there 16 years. I will not call them bad names. But you cannot compare American person with the English person and with the French person and with the Ekwan. No way. If I give you percentage, the knowledge of an American engineer of similar degrees like Ekwan is only 10% of the knowledge of like Ekwan. If I say England engineer with the same degree, with the same qualification, has only 50% knowledge of that equipment and machine, how to run it, and the manual, then Dr. Ekwan. And similarly, go to Germany, go to France. But Dr. Ekwan, his memory, his brain was just like a genius person. And he knew. And he knew 5 things which not average worker in the factory in Holland, centrifuge factory, knows. what? Number one, how the machine was made in the factory. That is one knew it. How that machine should be bought for how much money and bring it to Holland. That's number two. Number three, where to put that machine? This is a very difficult question. To give you the production, to give you the output, and what for the centrifuge parts. That's number three. Number four, he should train this person, this person, this person, or this person on that machine to give you the output, production. That's number four. What is the last thing? Very important. If anything goes wrong with the machine, who will be responsible? Who is going to fix it? Who is going? So they will go back to Dr. H.U. Khan. This machine has this problem, it's not running. So he will go open up the manual. In what language?
In
English,
any language.
in French, in German, in American. And then he will fix it, tell him how to fix it. So these 5 qualities, none of the engineers in Holland had it.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to ask a question with a slightly opposite tone about the proliferation allegations against Dr. A.Q. Han regarding, I suppose it was North Korea, Libya, and the rest. So let's go into that. What are your opinions on those proliferation accusations? Honestly speaking.
What are you regarding
It's a very simple answer. No proliferation. I call it a business. I told you the story of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan working in Holland. Where to buy the machine, how to run the machine, where to put the machine in the factory. If you are talking about North Korea, if you are talking about China, you are talking about Libya, or if you are talking about any other country, Dr. A.Q. Khan has nothing to do with it. Because who gave atom bomb to Israel? Pakistan? India? No. China?
No.
Russia? No. What is proliferation? Who gave? This is not proliferation. Who gave atom bomb to Israel? Okay? Simple. So when you do it, it is not proliferation. But you want to blame Pakistan. Okay. Now, simply I will say, the atom bomb to Israel is given by UK and America. And the rich Jews in England and rich Jews in the American, they did the payment in dollars and in pounds. So it's proliferation? No. Now simply I can call all the communist countries, for example China, for example North Korea, for example Russia. They are, you call twin sisters, but if 3 sisters are together, what do you call them? Triplet sisters. So they are 3 sisters, North Korea, China, and Russia. And they help each other in everything. If you call missile, they help each other. If you call atom bomb, they help each other. If you call ships, they help each other. You call any kind of weapons, they help each other. Who? Russia, North Korea, and China.
They help each other.
It's the sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are calling Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan or Dr. A.Q. Khan Research Laboratories Kaluta, that proliferation, who gave nuclear engineering and technology and power plants to India? Russia did. Why you call it proliferation? From those nuclear power plants, the Indians made the first atom bomb. Why they do not call India or Russia proliferation? Because India and Russia or America or England or France are these nuclear powers. they wanted to help and do the business. It's a regular business between India and Russia. First nuclear power plant was built in India by the Russians. Why you call it? Why don't you call it proliferation? Out of that nuclear power plant, the uranium, plutonium comes out of the nuclear power, they made the atom bomb. And we don't call it proliferation. So did the Americans. They did help India for the nuclear engineering and nuclear technology and nuclear power plants. But we don't call it proliferation. But if India did the nuclear explosions, and nobody tells them to sign the LPT, they do.
Yes.
They don't sign it.
The treaty, yeah.
And nobody forced them. But why they want Pakistan to sign it? Why Pakistan should sign it?
Exactly.
So you don't have a right to catch one person and let free the other person.
Thank you so much. Great answers, really touching on everything. So I'm going to move on to ethical questions and considerations. Just one question. Did any of the team members ever discuss or consider the ethical implications of working on nuclear weapons in general?
And this is a good question. In short, we all want to defend our country, and whoever was working in the team, they were quite patriotic, and they had a team work. They had a teamwork, and no one was that much against of this thing. It was purely for the defense of our country.
Let me go back to the history. You know who are Khulafa'i Rashidin? You know who are Ashab-e Karam? When there is a war and Allah Prophet goes to the war, okay, I call it Jang Badr, War of Badr, the first war. Which Ashab-e Karam did not go? All of them went. And many got Shahadat. Same thing, Jang Uhud. When you are talking about Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan Research Laboratories Kahuta, all scientists, all engineers, all his companions, they worked like Ashab-e Karam. They devoted their lives for making Pakistani nuclear power. So Pakistan, alhamdulillah, now 7th superpower in the world. And because of dedication of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan and his team, I do not want to mention names of 15,000 people. It's not possible. And you do not have time. But if I start from the start to the end, many people came. Many people retired. Many people died in this project. So did Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. He died in 2021, right? But what he did not only for Pakistan, but he did for the whole Muslim world. And if I call 56 Islamic countries, so all of them are proud of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan made the atom bomb. And all of them claim that he made it for the Muslims. And all the Muslims, they know that if any power in the world comes and wants to destroy all the Muslim countries, this atom bomb of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan will save all the countries of the Muslim countries. So, companions of the Prophet, companions of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. The followers of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the followers of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. They are still working, they are devoted, and they are producing atom bombs, and making centrifuge machines, and they are enriching that uranium to 99%. So, who gets the credit? Two persons in the history. Number one is Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, who made the atom bomb, and number two is who brought him from Holland. And you know, many Pakistanis do not know. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in writing gave him all the powers of a prime minister to the Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. For anything he wants to spend, wants to buy, wants to transfer, wants to do anything related to the atom bomb project, you know. Absolute powers. He did not have to go to Wazarat Khazana, he did not have to go to the budget Qawmi Assembly. He did not have to go to the army to give me some dollars. No. Absolute power, absolute financial power, absolute technical power, engineering powers. Anybody you can hire, anybody you can fire. So, in the history, and you can watch the news, and you can read the newspapers, all of them say the same thing. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto started this project with Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto brought Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan back to Pakistan for this project.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. So let's move on to geopolitical motivations. Now, I think you covered that just now.
Yeah.
Very good. Honestly, the answers are more than I could have dreamed of. So I think we can just ask a question about foreign intelligence agencies and how they impacted the pace and the secrecy of your work.
What is the job of a dog in the house if somebody comes from outside?
Just
He
to
will
bark.
just bark. And if that person forces himself inside the house, the dog will attack him. Right? So, intelligence agencies of any country, say USA, say UK, say France, any country, India, see their job is to poke their nose in the houses and smell and see what's cooking,
Yeah.
what's happening, who is coming, how many cars he has, how many guns he has, how many pistols he has, how many wives he has, how many children. No doubt, best intelligence agencies of all the world. I do not want to name that. There is no sense. I don't want to say CIA, no. I do not want to say the UK,
MI6.
MI6, no. I do not want to say French intelligence, no. I do not want to say Indian intelligence, no. I do not want to say Israeli intelligence, no. They bullshit. If they were so powerful, they could stop this atom bomb project since its start. And starting year was 1975, then 76, then 77. And first atom bomb was made in 1983, and it was experimented in 1984, and it was blasted 6 explosion in 1998, 28 May 1988. But if these spice agencies were so powerful and espionage was so great, they could stop it on the very first year at 75. They could stop it at 75. No, there's no doubt that we paid a high price with the life of Dr. A.Q. Khan, with the life of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, and many more. But Alhamdulillah, we did our job. And Alhamdulillah, all the engineers and scientists and persons like Muhammad Ali Khan who are working with Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan, they are proud. And you will not believe it is just for sake of your information. On this 28th May 2025, I was invited in 5 places on the cover of Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan.
On the graveyard, yeah.
Graveyard in H8 Islamabad to come and participate in the dua for Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan. And you know, 22,000 people came on 28th May. Note it down, please. 2025, this year, for just dua on his cover. Now tell me that what is the reason? Why they are coming for dua? Why on 28th of May?
Why not on some other day?
No, I don't want to say some other day, but I want to emphasize on 28th May because Alhamdulillah, these 6 explosions which took place in Chawai, in Balochistan, all 100% credit goes to Dr. Abdul. He made those attempts. Nobody else, no other institution, no other organization, no other department made attempts.
Thank you. Okay, let's go then on to personal reflections. So I'd like to ask both of your personal opinions and reflections on motivations for joining the nuclear program. I feel we've touched upon, but about how did your life change after the program's success and subsequent scrutiny? Really, I want your personal accounts of what happened after the 6 explosions.
We were all very happy. All the team was very happy, and we were very much successful on that. And of course, a person has to be happy because we achieved it, and that was our achievement of our hard work.
Very funny thing happened with me during this Eid al-Adha in Peshawar. I was staying in my son's house in Peshawar. My 2 grandchildren, age about 10, 11, they asked me a question and I did not have the answer. They said that their teacher in the school and their friends in the school, they told my grandchildren to prove it that your grandfather, Dr. Muhammad Afzal Khan, was part of the team which made the atom bomb. And I did not have the answer. How I can tell my children to tell your teachers and your class fellows that your grandfather was part of the team who made the atom bomb? So simply if I call 15,000 engineers and scientists working with Dr. Ikram, all of them made the atom bomb. It's not one person's job. Okay? So if there are 36 factories in Kahuta, Dr. Ikram is working, and in each factory thousands of engineers, scientists and technicians are working, and everybody is making parts for atom bomb. So I cannot say that he did the atom bomb, he did the atom bomb, he did the atom bomb. All of them are responsible. And I could not answer my grandsons to tell your teacher and tell your friends. But or I can do one thing, and they start laughing. I can go to Kahuta, bring atom bomb, and put it on the table of your teacher. This is the atom bomb.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. So let's go into legacy and the future. What lessons should other countries learn from Pakistan's nuclear journey? And I'll ask all the questions at once so you can just cover all of it. And do you believe nuclear deterrence has made South Asia more or less secure? And would you support global disarmament, and under what conditions?
In my opinion, I say that every country should have a deterrent, and every country should have an atom bomb. Now, for example, if Palestinians had an atom bomb, Americans or Israelis would have never attacked and killed them and butchered them. But my advice is to have as many as atom bombs it can be in the world, because the atom bomb brings peace. Otherwise, India would have attacked us very early. But only the credit goes to Dr. A.Q. Khan. He made the bomb for us, and then when Dr. Khan made the bomb and everything was successful, we achieved the success. Then one day Dr. Khan said to me, now there will be no war between Pakistan and India. I said, sir, why? He said, because India would be afraid of throwing a bomb on us, because they will be thinking that Pakistan will retaliate in the same manner. So there will be no war. I said, you are very right, sir. Now it was a...
Now, atom bomb is not football. It is not baseball. It is not a cricket ball that you will throw on the other team. So atom bomb is basically a final defense warrant.
Hmm.
Okay. Now Pakistan is the 7th superpower. Let's go to number 1. Say America. Then go to number 2, England. Then go to France 3. And Russia 4, right? China 5, right? And Pakistan is say 7th, and then North Korea is 8th, and Israel is 9th. So there are 9 superpowers which have the atom bombs, right? Okay. Very funny thing, Muhammad Ali Khan sir, how many atom bombs America has? So I will say roughly 3,000. How many atom bombs Russia has? I will say roughly 2,900. 100 less than America. Where they are fighting together? In Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Since when? 3 years ago. Right? Why they are not throwing atom bombs on each other?
Because Ukraine does not have an atom bomb.
No, but they are. America is
They are
giving
helped
all
by-
the weapons. America soldiers are fighting, or the England soldiers are fighting.
Certain-
French soldiers are fighting. German soldiers are
Certain
fighting.
technology is given to a country, but not the main thing. They don't give the main thing. They give their aeroplanes, maybe of a lower category, not the top category planes, and in the same way. But you can explain it better.
Okay. I want to say that this Ukraine war and this Gaza war, you know where it will end? It will end in the nuclear war between Russia and America, between Muslims and Israel. This year, maybe. Next year, maybe. Next year, but end of,
Well, that will be the end of the world then.
not end of the, it is not Qiyamah. I'm not talking about Yom Judgment or Yom Qiyamah. I'm going that we are going in that direction. It's a simple example of this 6th way attack by India on Pakistan. Right? Many people do not know. India did destroy many masjids, many madrasas on the first night.
Yeah.
Many people do not know this.
No,
And they have killed the children.
Mm.
And then they wanted to attack the airports, and they attacked the. And the people who are watching the Indian channels and the news, they said, we have conquered Lahore,
Mm.
we have conquered Karachi,
Mm.
and we destroyed this city and that city. It was in the television, official television of the India.
Mm.
So what stopped the India to expand the war? They could, because this was not the India only who attacked the Pakistan. Israelis were there, Americans were there, and many more.
Mm.
But what happened was, it's a top secret thing I'm going to tell you.
Mm.
And she asked the question about intelligence working for that find out what's happening. They got the signals. Who got the signals? The Israelis, the Indians, the Americans, the British, the French. That storage, I don't want to name the store. The storage is shifting to one direction. And next attack on any airport in Pakistan, you will have a big blast in the city of India.
So that's where they stopped.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this interview. And yeah, the light is still green, so I think we got the whole thing. Inshallah, let's see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.